We're recording. Welcome to this episode of Colorado Films, the podcast. Today, I'm excited to be speaking with Sara Moore. Sara is the executive director of the Colorado Dragon Boat, the 501c3 nonprofit organization behind several major Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, AANHPI cultural programs in Colorado, including the Colorado Dragon Boat Festival, the Colorado Dragon Boat Film Festival, the AANHPI Emerging Leaders Program, and the Riverdale Regional Park Dragon Boat Regatta and Night Market. With more than a decade of nonprofit leadership experience, Sara has helped grow the organization into a thriving cultural institution, leading the largest Dragon Boat Festival in the United States and the only all Asian and Asian American film festival in Colorado. She is passionate about amplifying Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander voices through arts, culture, and community programming. Sara, thank you very much for being on the show. Glad you're here. Please tell us about the Colorado Dragon Boat, the film festival, and all the work you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Very excited to be here. Again, my name is Sara Moore. I'm the executive director of the 501c3 nonprofit Colorado Dragon Boat. And our mission is to build bridges of awareness, knowledge, and understanding between the diverse AANHPI communities and the general public through cultural education, leadership development, and athletic competition. So pretty much we're trying to ensure that we're uplifting the community and talking about the amazing accomplishments and contributions coming out of the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander communities right here in Colorado. And we do that through a plethora of different events throughout the year. As you mentioned, we host the Colorado Dragon Boat Festival, which originated in 2001. So we're actually in our 26th year. In 2026, we'll be hosting the 26th festival at Sloan's Lake, August 29th and 30th. And that is just a very large event, celebration that really uplifts the community, the culture, the tradition, and the art coming from our communities in a plethora of different ways. Obviously, we have dragon boat racing, which is very exciting. We have over 40 teams that soar across Sloan's Lake, racing and paddling each other, and it's very fun, friendly competition. So that's happening on the water. And then on the land, we have a lot of activities happening for the whole family. So we're a free admissions event for everybody to come and participate with. But we have 3 stages with over 100 different local performances. We have an Asian marketplace with over 100 vendors. We have food, which is top for most people. Very delicious Asian American food, as well as cuisines from all over. But definitely come hungry because it is a delicious event to experience. And we also have a Dragonland area for kids and education. So lots to do at the Dragon Boat Festival. And as you mentioned, we also have the Dragon Boat Film Festival, and that started in 2016. And we are now partners with Denver Film. We collaborate to ensure that we host this amazing event every year. This year happening March 20th through 22nd. So just in a few weeks here. And we are currently the only all Asian and Asian American film festival in Colorado. And we are just really excited to be bringing amazing films from all over Asia and right here in the U.S. to our audiences here. And that's another kind of vehicle and way to present our mission and really build bridges and shared experiences here in Colorado with the general public and the AANHPI community. But very excited about that event coming up. And I'll talk a little bit about our 2 other events and then maybe come back to the film festival.
Please.
Yeah. So we also have an AANHPI Emerging Leadership Program that is a leadership program for young professionals who are kind of just starting out in their professional careers. And it's a way to really introduce how your culture and traditions can help you advance within your career rather than hinder. So it is a unique leadership program that I think we're actually one of the only leadership programs currently to help young professionals within the AANHPI community really gain these skills and resources to be more successful in their careers and personal lives. We partner our mentees and mentors. So everybody is given a mentor within the community to not only learn wisdom and have somebody who can be an amazing resource, but also to bridge that generational gap. But that usually happens in the fall. Every other year currently, we're looking and hoping to make that every year soon. And then last but not least, our newest event is the Colorado Riverdale Regional Park Dragon Boat Regatta and Night Market. So regatta is just a kind of fancy term for another boat race. So we're bringing, we're bringing dragon boats up to Adams County, having a new and exciting opportunity for people to get on our dragon boats and experience that athletic competition at a beautiful new location in Adams County. And then, of course, we have land activities and a night market edition. And it's just very exciting because we are bringing more culture and arts and performances and experiences to a new location outside of Sloan's Lake up at the beautiful Riverdale Regional Park. But those are kind of all of our programs in a nutshell, but very excited for what 2026 has to offer.
Yeah, it seems like you have a lot on your plate and, a lot to expand the community and to really highlight the community. As the festival does, why do you think it's important? I know Colorado has had a long and not always good history with the Asian American, Pacific Islanders, and Native Hawaiian community. Why do you feel it's important to have a platform like this in Colorado?
Yeah. So I think it kind of goes back to the inception of the Colorado Dragon Boat Festival and why we started. So I actually was not a part of the organization 26 years ago. We were started by three amazing founders, John Chin, Ding Wen Su, and Howie Solo, and three leaders within the community that came together realizing that the AANHPI community was pretty much invisible here in Colorado. We were definitely here. We had space and we have a huge history, a very long history of being here, but no one really knew about us. And they realized that the accomplishments and contributions were kind of just falling by the wayside and not being really uplifted. So they wanted to change that. They wanted to not only bring all of the AANHPI communities together, which is a huge term, a huge umbrella for a term that encompasses like over 40 different ethnicities, cultures, languages. So we're a very large group here in Colorado when it comes to the amount of representation that we have. And they wanted to not only bring all of those communities together to create a larger voice for ourselves. The more you come together, the mightier you are and the louder you can be, but also to bridge some gaps between our culture and the general public. We really wanted to make sure that we were inviting everybody to get to know us, to learn about our culture, to experience our art and contributions. So they thought of dragon boating. What better way to bring people together than friendly competition. And dragon boating itself is a beautiful tradition and ancient sport. It goes back over 2,000 years ago to ancient China. And since then, it's grown across the world as a very wonderful event and competition. It's still a little bit niche here in the US, but it's definitely growing. And like you mentioned, we're actually the largest dragon boat festival in the country, which is kind of shocking because we're a landlocked state. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that not only are we a dragon boat race, we are more importantly arts and culture organization that really takes the opportunity to educate and offer experiences to everybody here in Colorado. So through the Dragon Boat Festival and now our 3 other events, that's kind of what we're doing. We're really aiming to uplift and empower the community. Here in Colorado, we're still small but mighty. We're about 4.5% of the Colorado population identifies as AANHPI. So like I mentioned, small but mighty. And by coming together as a large group, we're able to really make an impact and really showcase our culture, which is really fantastic. And at the Dragon Boat Festival, we have over 200,000 individuals that come over the 2-day weekend. So I do think that we are making quite an impact, and we've grown every year. So it's really kind of showing that there is still a thirst and desire and motivation from Coloradans and people from all over to really learn about the AANHPI community. So
Yeah.
I think it's very important to uplift other cultures and to have that space to be able to do that.
Yeah, like you said, growing up here in Colorado, there was always, I knew there was the very AAN Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander community. It was just like there's Sakuraba Square and other ones, but just didn't see them until I remember, because I was just in high school going into college. I'm like, oh, they're doing a dragon boat race, and just every year seeing that grow. And in the area too, they have La Chicano events happen around the same time, around the same thing. It's just beautiful to see all these communities being uplifted by their culture, even as a small percentage of a very homogenous state that we have in Colorado. And it's funny that in the landlocked desert we have the biggest dragon boat race, so that's so beautiful to see. But with the film festival this year, it's a connecting thread, correct?
Our theme is threads of connection.
Threads of connection. Thank you. And what are the stories or the filmmakers that this year's did you prioritize on selecting? Because you're very focused on what you're selecting and what you want to see at your festival. So what was that process like? How'd you come up with it? Obviously it's an easy jump to see why you came up with it, but how did you actually select those films?
Yeah. So in 2020, we actually started our partnership with Denver Film, and Denver Film is absolutely phenomenal. They're a 501c3 nonprofit as well, a little bit larger than us for sure, but they are such a powerhouse and such an inspirational nonprofit within the film industry that we were very, very happy to align our festival and be supported by them. So every year, moving forward since 2020, we have been in partnership with them, and they have an amazing staff that we work with, one of which is Matt Campbell, who is the curator for Denver Film Festival. And him and his counterpart, Ambriel Turrent, is absolutely amazing. And they kind of create a list of potential films from all over Asia that are new and new for the year, maybe the last year as well, but new films that we could premiere here in Colorado. So we do have an all-volunteer committee with Colorado Dragon Boat Film Festival who reviews all of these films and sees if it is in line not only with our mission and vision of our organization, but also trying to uplift communities and countries that we might not regularly see here in Colorado or in the US. For instance, we actually have a documentary that really highlights the Cambodian community this year, which we're really excited to be showcasing. It's called Loot, A Story of Crime and Redemption. So it really highlights the topic of art and artifacts that may not have been obtained in the best way and just quite frankly in the wrong ways, and how museums are working to ensure that they're doing their due diligence to correct maybe these challenges and issues. But it's definitely been very prevalent all over the world. But this particular documentary talks about Cambodia. And our Cambodian community here in Colorado, again, small but mighty, but it's definitely one that you might not hear as much about. So very excited to be hosting that film and then adding some little extra bonuses with talkbacks and community conversations surrounding those kind of topics.
Okay.
But the committee that we have does a really great job at selecting films that we believe that the community would like to see, and we do try our best to ensure that it's encompassing of all communities and all topics and categories.
Okay, nice. And you kind of mentioned it, but one of the things that stands out with what you're doing, not across just film festival, but with everything Dragon Boat, is the panels, the QA, the food, the market experiences. Why is that important? Building that around the festival more than just showing a movie and saying, okay, here's the movie, maybe a QA, let's go. Because obviously it's a much bigger culture in that, but I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's so important for us as an organization to really make sure that we're doing our due diligence and our best at completing and fulfilling our mission, which really is about education and knowledge and offering new experiences for people. So we want to make it as accessible as possible. And obviously, I believe that everyone loves film. Everyone can relate to storytelling on the big screen in one way or another, and or just learn from those stories being told. And we like to take it a step further to ensure that not only are you coming to our film festival to see a film that is going to be unique and beautiful and start conversations, but to be able to have those conversations. We want to ensure that community and connection are a huge part of our events and our programs. So by having free and open to the public community conversations where you can meet local leaders talking about a specific topic, it makes more of a personal connection there. And I hope it opens doors and curiosity to people who might not know anything about a topic that we're discussing, but feels comfortable coming in, asking questions, and getting to know the people involved. So we just really want to ensure that we're taking as many steps as we can to connecting people and learning from shared experiences rather than just showing a film and leaving it at that. We really want, we call it participation. So really participating in our culture and having those opportunities.
Nice. I have a fun participation story. My Kai mom, my Chinese godmother, she was Kennedy's last person on his Chinese visa, and we always celebrate Lunar New Year with her. And this year, Lunar New Year, and it'll happen in 2029 again. Lunar New Year lands on Mardi Gras too, so we had like a Lunar New Year Fat Tuesday party with her, and it's, making the dumplings and doing all this stuff for good luck for the year. So yeah, it is though. I feel those things are very grab a hold of somebody and show how beautiful that culture is. With Colorado, we're growing film scene or growing film community. And I think you've had, in all of them, but you've always had this local spotlight focus on Colorado filmmakers. Are you seeing more local representation? Are you seeing, that happening each year? Is it exponentially growing? Is it growing a little bit? What's your view on local filmmakers and showing off their community?
Yeah, so we always have 2 local showcases that showcase short films from local filmmakers here in Colorado and surrounding states. And it's one of my favorite parts of our film festival because we get to uplift local people that we know and love, and we'll most likely see them on the big screen in the future as well. We have so much talent and expertise here in Colorado. So we have the amazing opportunity to be able to show short films from local filmmakers, show them in a 2-hour block, which also includes a Q&A with the with the filmmakers after the screening. So you get to learn a little bit more about them, about their film, and really engage. And we've had that since I've been a part of the organization, so quite a while, and I have seen an increase definitely in representation from Colorado, submissions to our film festival. And we've actually even expanded or people have heard about our film festival from surrounding states as well, which is really exciting because I do feel that Colorado has such a thriving film industry, and I think it can only be more uplifted and more empowered, especially with the upcoming 2027 and Sundance coming in. I think we'll be making even more of a name for ourselves. But surrounding states like New Mexico, we actually have quite a few filmmakers who submit from other states, which is really exciting to see that our representation or our film festival is being known all over the US, which is really cool. And actually we have some submissions from international students and filmmakers as well. So I think it's really wonderful to see that we have been growing in submissions, and I really just wish our festival could be a whole week long, because I think we would have enough films to fill it all. But it's been really wonderful to see that local representation increase.
Nice. And how many films were submitted this year?
Oh gosh, we definitely had over 50, which is a huge increase compared to when we first started the submission process. And unfortunately, due to only having 2 hours to showcase short films, we only were able to select a handful with the committee, but all of them are absolutely wonderful. And the others that are submitted that aren't maybe selected for this year, we always encourage them to resubmit for next year if they have new films. And then in general, it's a great way for us to learn about local filmmakers and uplift them through social media and promotion, and just work with them on the back end, even if we're not able to showcase on the big screen.
Nice. Yeah, big community coming together, help each other is a beautiful thing. So as the executive director, what moment from the film festival during your tenure stands out as especially meaningful, or something that you just like, it's there and that's your mind, that's what the festival is?
Man, I feel like, and I think I especially saw this and felt this after the COVID pandemic, but seeing everybody come together in a safe and comfortable space. We're at the Sea Film Center, which is just a phenomenal location, phenomenal atmosphere. But seeing the community come back together and connect is my favorite thing. And it's not just, it's all generations. It's all types of people. They're coming from all different cultures. We have allies, we have the AANHPI community, but feeling that love and shared connection within the Sea Film Center is my favorite thing, definitely. And I'm there pretty much like for 72 hours during that film festival, all 3 days. I hardly leave or sleep, but it's so energetic there. Like it's so wonderful to interact with everybody who's walking through those doors. So personally, that's my favorite thing, and it happens every year, regardless of what films we're showing. But every film also that we show is just has a special place in my heart as ones that are extra phenomenal.
Okay, nice. And following up on that, what have you personally learned about storytelling and culture through running this festival?
Yeah, so I have always loved film. Growing up since a kid, me and my family, it's very much a tradition for us to go and see films. But I had never really seen as many foreign films or films from Asia and international films. And so being a part of the Colorado Dragon Boat Film Festival, it has been so amazing to see the expertise and beautiful films and stories that are coming from all over the world, and how all of these stories have a connection to my personal life or some of my friends. It's just really wonderful to see that through storytelling, you can always come up with things that you're more similar with people than different. And it's a connection point where you're learning experiences and you have the opportunity to start conversations with people surrounding this storytelling process. And it's just absolutely wonderful to see so many points of connection within the community and films from all over the world. I think that's the coolest part.
Nice. Okay. And what kind of stories from the Asian diaspora are still, do you feel, underrepresented in cinema?
Yes. So unfortunately, there's always going to be underrepresentation, especially with BIPOC communities and other countries that might not have the resources that we do here in the U.S.
Mhm.
or other bigger countries that have more cinema. So it's kind of our mission and goal to ensure that we're uplifting a community or country that is less represented than maybe in the mainstream. Like I mentioned, Loot with the Cambodian community. But all of the stories, honestly, have little aspects that have not been told enough. For instance, here in Colorado, we have a very thriving Japanese community and a lot of history surrounding the Japanese community. And a lot of people have heard about incarceration camps during World War II and the Nisei experience. And there have been quite a few films surrounding that topic, but it also isn't enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like that goes along with every community here in Colorado. We had a Denver Chinatown that people didn't know about
Yep.
until recently while we were trying to uplift this history. And I know there is a film being made surrounding that. And we always need more, I think, in my mind. But any chance that we have to uplift a community, a topic, we're really happy to do that.
Nice. And do you remember the first film that you saw that made you fall in love with cinema and filmmaking?
Oh gosh. You know, I'm not sure. The first one, because I'm sure it was before this, but I will say the first time that I went to a theater and was like, I think I might have been under 10 or like new into the 2-digit world of age. But I saw the Disney film Mulan,
Okay.
and Mulan looked similar to me. And I think that made a huge impact on me in cinema. Seeing representation of yourself or someone similar to you on the big screen, I think really makes a difference. And it really can create a passion and create a sense of community and pride in who you are. So I will say, I think Mulan was probably one of the first movies that I saw that I wanted to see over and over again because I saw someone who looked like me and had some traditions and culture that was similar. But I thought that was so cool.
All right. Nice. If you could bring any filmmaker from around the world to the festival for a conversation, who would that be and why?
Oh my goodness. I feel like there's too many. There's so many amazing filmmakers, actors, all of the above that we would just be so ecstatic to have at our film festival. I will say that I was honored and lucky enough last year in 2025, Denver Film Festival had the movie Rosemead that was shown, a phenomenal movie, so important, tragic, but so well done. And Lucy Liu is the main actress of that film, and I was lucky enough to be able to help present an award to her. And in the few minutes that I got to chat with her behind scenes, it was just so phenomenal to hear her perspective as an Asian American woman, especially coming in around the time that she came in, and her experience just in cinema, in film, in Hollywood. I would love to have her back. Definitely. I'm definitely fangirling there in general. All of the directors from all over Asia and especially here in the US, I think we have such a plethora of amazing Asian American directors, filmmakers, actors that still need to be highlighted even more. We have a closing film called Forge, and it's about art forging and that kind of like criminal behind the scenes of making counterfeit art. But it's all Asian and Asian American actors. And I think that's so cool to see a film that has that representation there to be highlighted. And then on a personal level, Keanu Reeves is one of my favorite actors, and I would love just to meet him in general. And he is actually a part of the AANHPI community, a through his I think his father's side. But that's more just a fangirl girl crush kind of thing.
Hey, it's your choice. Whoever we can get, I'll put the little hashtag or at it, and maybe they see it, and we're like, hey,
Yeah.
look at this. There we go.
That would be great. Dream come true.
Yeah. Well, I'll try. I'll do what I can.
Thank you.
What's one you mentioned the one with Lucy Liu, and I just forgot the name, but what's one film from the past festivals that people should track down and watch?
Oh my gosh, all of them. They're so phenomenal. The film with Lucy Liu that was at DIF, Denver Film Festival in 2025, Rosemead is the name.
Okay.
Definitely a trigger warning. It is tragically beautiful. It does surround a real story. And it does have a little bit of mental health and gun violence in it. So just to add that there, but absolutely recommend that. I think it's such an important story to see. And Lucy Liu obviously just does such a phenomenal job at portraying her character. And I'm very, very upset that she did not get an Oscar nomination for it, but very well deserved credit for that role. But from our film festival specifically, each year, I think we just have so many amazing films. Also at our film festival, we really hope to provide family-friendly films as well. Not all of them, unfortunately, not all of them are, but we do hope to have a few that can be kind of cross the generation, including younger kids. One of which comes to mind, Moon Man from China, was absolutely phenomenal and very fun. Also had a little bit deeper of a meaning, but it had some comedy surrounding it. So that was a good kind of mix. We also had one of our first ever Polynesian films last year, Tina, as our closing night film. And that is just such a phenomenal film, very heartwarming, and it talks about a community that most people don't necessarily know too much about. So being able to uplift the Polynesian community was really cool with that. Nice. But honestly, endless suggestions and recommendations. If you go to our website, we have our programs, our past programs that you can kind of look and see all the films that we have shown.
And are those all on Film Freeway, or how could somebody access the past?
You know what? That is actually a great question, and I unfortunately do not have a solid answer on that. I think Film Freeway, you potentially might be able to find them, but what is unique to our film festival, the Colorado Dragon Boat Film Festival, is a lot of these films, that's kind of your only opportunity to see them in Colorado, because big distributors here in the US don't necessarily pick them up because they are international and from Asia. But I'm sure there's a way to find it. I'm just not as savvy as some in that aspect, but I know a few have come to Netflix, and a few have come to some streaming platforms. Unfortunately, not all, but the big ones definitely.
Okay. And kind of on that subject, how important is it for Colorado audiences to have access to international cinema and international films like this?
Oh, it's so important. It's so important to be immersed in experiences that you might not be able to otherwise. I think it's kind of a passport to all of those different countries where you don't have to leave your couch. If you don't want to, you don't have to leave the theater, but you're transported into an experience, into a story, and into a culture that you will most likely fall in love with, and then maybe make future plans to physically go to that location. But I think the impact is immeasurable. And what Denver Film Festival does with their International Film Festival, what the Colorado Dragon Boat Film Festival does with Asian cinema, I think it's just so unique and so important for all of us to ensure that we have this opportunity to broaden our horizons and come together as a community with the purpose of connection and storytelling. So I think it's one of the most important things ever.
Okay, I agree. It's what traveling and seeing how common we all are is something that more people need to do, and unfortunately can't, and due to politics won't be able to as much because of how we're portrayed by people. But I was, I was lucky. I played football at the University of Hawaii for like a year, and so I got to experience the island of Hawaii without being or as an okay Halle boy because I was on the football team. So I got to fight all the big Samoans, and they beat me up on the football field, not outside the football field. That just, it was kind of cool because it was me and the Islanders against a lot of the times the U.S. military guys who'd come on campus and be like, "Oh, we big military guys," and they're like, "No, you can't do that here. We're trying to," So it was a different experience, and doing that has led to, I guess where I'm at in my life now. So I'm very fortunate for those experiences, and I think I agree other people should have that as well. So with Film Fest being everywhere and now we're having streaming, what role do you think festivals will play still in discovering and celebrating new films?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier, but just the atmosphere and the connection that you get from being in person in a theater, eating popcorn together is just unique. And I don't think that you're able to get it just at your house unless you own a big theater and can invite hundreds of your friends. But which would be wonderful, but that's why we have amazing film or theaters here in Colorado, and especially the C Film Center, which is run by Denver Film, and their mission and community is just so phenomenal and welcoming that you really just can't get that experience anywhere else, in my opinion. And I think that it's harder with streaming. It's harder where you have the accessibility, which is wonderful that we have that accessibility, but it does sometimes detract from the connection that you might make in a theater. But I don't think it will ever go away. And I think, especially now that we're past COVID, and people are coming together again, I think it's just such a safe haven of an experience that you can gain with people who have the same thought process of storytelling as you. That they're coming to a theater to be entertained, to be educated, and to make that connection with the person sitting next to them. Even if they don't talk to that person, there's still a connection being made, which I think is so important. And I hope it never goes away. I don't think it should.
No, I don't think it should either. And I think, with things like that are very, like you're doing, they're very specific on cultures. And because, if you can only watch so many Marvel movies before that's all just CIA propaganda anyway. So let's watch something that's a little bit better than that, a different story. So, we're kind of pushing on time. Is there anything that you'd like to specifically mention? Any shout outs, any plugs? I mean, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, just really encourage everyone to come and hang out with us at the Colorado Dragon Boat Film Festival this year, March 20th through 22nd at the C Film Center. Tickets are on sale now. And if you're going to go to more than 2 films, I would suggest the All Access Pass because that gets you everything. And we have like bonus events, fun events as well. We have a culinary experience called Real Bites that is absolutely delicious. It is a ticketed event, but if you get an All Access Pass, it's included. And then you can go see some amazing films. And like I mentioned, we have free and open to the public community conversations. We have our local showcases, which are a must-see because you're going to meet the next up-and-coming person who you're going to see on the big screen and in distribution at those local showcases. But really just encourage everyone to come join in on the fun. We actually have a community fashion show happening on Sunday before closing night. But check out our website for more information. It's cdfilm.org and or just Google us and you'll find all the information on Denver Film's website as well. But just a fun experience to come and join us. And then hopefully you'll get hooked and come and join us for the Dragon Boat Festival happening August 29th and 30th. And then also our Riverdale Regional Park Dragon Boat Regatta and Night Market, which is on September 26th up in Adams County. But please come and learn more about our organization and learn more about the AANHPI community.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much. Definitely check it out, everyone. I'll be there. Sarah will be there. A lot of community members will be there, and we hope you are too. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thanks.